Hello everyone! Plunderstorm is a brand new game mode added to World of Warcraft, and while it doesn't have a whole lot of story to talk about, one thing that I definitely wanted to share with all of you is that coming Saturday, the 30th of March, I'm gonna be part of a Creator Royale tournament. Partnered up with Mike from Preachgaming, we're entering the Battle Royale against content creators from all walks of life to show off this new game mode, and I would honestly love it for all of you to be there and cheer us on. With the competition that we're facing, we're gonna need all the support we can get. More details in the description down below.
Be seeing you soon. Real soon.
Well, for those who haven't heard about this yet, what exactly is Plunderstorm? For those who might have missed the massive campaign that's been going on, Plunderstorm is something that's been holding my attention tight for the last few days, and the easiest way to describe it would be something like Fortnite in World of Warcraft. A limited time special event, which I've seen people disappointed about. So I asked during the presentation why they decided to make it a limited event, and the answer that I got was that they don't want to compete with their own products, right? They don't want to compete with like Cataclysm Classic or other things that are currently being developed. Yet at the same time, if this proves to be popular enough, dependent on player feedback, they can look at what's smart to do. Personally, I wouldn't hate it if they decided to make this mode free to play and stick around. Maybe rotate with other kind of maps or other kind of game modes. But that's all, it's all in development and time is going to tell. Right now, for this Battle Royale, you don't need any of the expansions or a leveled character. All you need is an active subscription and you can jump right into the action, customize the character to look any way you want, and you're good to go. You can dive in by yourself and fight against other solo players, or you can team up with a friend, face off against other duos. Both versions are shot into the air and dropped into the Arathi Highlands, where you can steer your mount, find the location where you want to drop down, aim for a rare or some mobs on the ground so you have an ability at the start. The game starts off with a more focus on PvE, so dealing with the environment, killing rares, opening chests, getting plunder, abilities and experience, until the storm approaches. Standing in the storm, it does your health no good. So it shrinks the battlefield, and the game slowly but surely starts to focus more on the PvP aspect of things, taking on other players to secure victory and earn that sweet #1 spot. A #1 spot that can be earned in many different ways with many different ability combos and strategies. You got abilities that allow you to hook people like Stitches, reflect spells, you can call upon the elements or hide in the shadows. Sometimes you get lucky and the Fire Swirl is with you. At other times, you're blessed with more abilities to escape, dictate who you want to engage. Sometimes, all it takes is pretending to be a bush, wait for the right moment to strike. Different tactics that can secure your victory. That is, of course, if you don't have someone drop on you right at the start. They won't even let you finish your initial quest. Fear not though, queues are really quick, and you'll be in a new game before you know it.
Ahoy, as they say! Or so I've heard.
And why join this plundering party? Well, perhaps besides the fun to be found there, there's also a reward track, a renown track, all the way to level 40. So the plunder that you get is converted into reputation. The more plunder you get in a match, the more renown you walk away with. And that initial quest that you get at the start, that offers a nice little boost to the plunder with a fairly easy quest to do, like kill 10 mobs or open up 2 chests. Nothing too major. Rewards for the Plunderstorm are cosmetics, making your outfit and weapon look different. That is, if people don't barrel you away from the NPC that lets you change. For retail and Raw Classic, there's also rewards to be had. There are pets, trade attendees, titles, tabards, transmog and mounts. At Renown 5, you also get a Cact Stem package, which guides you to the Quartermaster in Veldraken. They'll offer you a one-time Pirate's Booty, a bound-to-account, season-free normal piece of gear from a Mirror sale, as well as some flight stones or crests in exchange for these Cact-stamped coins. All in all, nothing here that will reward you with massive power upgrades, but plenty to be earned for the collectors out there.
May your pockets be plentiful!
So yeah, that's the event in a nutshell. So how about some of the story? Well, they say that this is a fun plundering event. We're part of Captain Keclec's crew, who's heard of a tournament of plunder that was happening in the Arafi Highlands. They have met up with Plix Spottermouth, and they've decided to sign us and our crew up for this tournament. Keclec's crew has been hard at work converting a small piece of the area into Brew Bay, where our plunder adventure begins. Here we can practice. Open chests, grab abilities, resurrect crewmates, figure out what the buttons do before the match begins for real. We only get a small amount of time to look around, but looking around is definitely worth the time. You can find Radical Stress surfing on a shark in the bay, just having the best time of his life. Meanwhile, good guy Ray is having the opposite, being dragged around by the Silver Tide Stallion. Orlo is our self-maker, the health brew in our kegs. Just don't ask what's in it. Second mate Skinnert of the Kegs-led crew says that if Captain has 1,000,000 swabbies, then I am one of them. If Captain have 1 swabby, then I am that one. If Captain has no sailors, that means I have died. Plundering or in the jails, I will always follow Captain. Then some smaller references here and there, like Angriest Chicken or the Ukeneer, Turncoat Zeke looking at one of the swabbies hanging on for dear life. Plenty of boozing and eating going around. But not all is a feast. Not all get the party as up in the sky, up in the ropes. They show what happens to those that cross the captain, I suppose. Did they keep some plunder for themselves? Did they not share the rum? Who knows?
Don't die before you get me gold!
That's all the official story they've given us. A plundering party, which we've been recruited for, constantly dropping into the Arafi Highlands to retrieve plunder for the captain, earning treasure and earning rewards. An event that doesn't need a major story to be fun. But personally, I wouldn't mind if they connected to something else that pirate lovers out there have been speculating about for quite a bit. By now, you all know about the many legends of Captain Night Squall. The wild-eyed night elf who ran away from his forest home as a boy to sign on with a hardy pirate crew. How through boldness and treachery he rose up the ranks to claim a ship of his own. Never was there a more daring captain in all the seas than the Night Squall. He sailed through the mist to Pandaria, an age before the Alliance and Horde ever found it, and made a fortune hauling kegs of brew to the far corners of the world. He plundered the treasure rooms of old King Rastican and sacked Kultiran villages right under the noses of those haughty Proudmoors. Night Squall has raided more islands in the South Seas than any captain who ever sailed. They say he stashed so much gold beneath the sands of Tel Abyb that the island now rises 10 feet higher than when he first landed on it. But don't you be thinking about stealing his booty now. Many the tale of a greedy lass or laddie who tried to outsmart the Night Squall, only to end up feeding the fishes. You've heard these stories 1,000 times. I know. Legends traded from one deckhand to another, until one might think the tales grew in the telling. Some might wonder if they could even have a grain of truth between them. Well, let me tell ye, they be true as starlight. I sailed with the Night Squall for a spell, and seen him do all these things and 100 more. Of course, you've likely heard the greatest tale of them all, how after building a brand new flagship, he set sail for the west, promising not to return until he had seen all there was of the world and taken his share. That was years ago, and many tides had passed without so much as a whisper. Even an old salt like me started to wonder if he'd met his match, that what they say about the western storms be true, that monsters and magic make the ocean impossible to cross, that in payment for his pride, it was now Night Squall who'd be feeding the fishes in the halls of Neptulon. But hear me now, and know I be speaking true, the Night Squall has returned. He ain't telling tales of what he's seen on his journeys, but the hulls of his ships that made it back be full to bursting with treasures like you've never seen before. And that ain't all. The Night Squall says he's got a new prize in his crosshairs, and to claim it, he aims to build the biggest pirate fleet the world has ever known. So whether ye be Ironside or Bloodsail, Defiers or Freebooter, all are welcome to sail under the Night Squall's flag. Follow him as your new admiral, and no navy on Azeroth will have a prayer against us. It all starts with the Dragon Isles. Plunder its secrets in the name of Dread Admiral Night Squall, and from there, the world is ours for the taking. That is taken from Return of the Night Squall, an official in-game book which has got loads of speculation going about a possible pirate expansion. now we're in the midst of a pirate event. And isn't it strange, oddly coincidental, how we're now supporting Keklec's crew with gathering more and more plunder, more and more funds to support the Night Squall and whatever their plans might be. This is what might take us west in the future as well. Perhaps in competition not with each other, but with none other than Queen Azshara herself, who has set her sights on a throne of power, a prize that the dread Admiral Night Squall might want as well. Who knows? Time is going to tell. All the same, I'm just super excited to be part of such an event, and I've honestly been having a blast with this game mode. So I'm gonna go back to practicing. I really hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you in Plunderstorm, as I've already ran across a couple of you, and it's been amazing. Of course, hope to see you all on the 30th. And until next time, see ya!